So sorry, guys. The things were in mute. Anyways, let's talk about forensic medicine. We are going to talk about legal procedures. Okay, legal procedures. We are going to talk about. Firstly, we are going to talk about what is a inquest. What is a inquest? So let's talk about what is a inquest. Legal procedures. What is IPC? It is a comprehensive code that deals with substantive criminal law of India. It defines various offences and describes code for punishment in the court. What is IPC? IPC is Indian Penal Code. Tell along with me. IPC is Indian Penal Code. Code. It is a code. Indian Penal Code. I for India, P for penal, and C for code. Some people will be asking what is the meaning of penal. So let me tell you exactly what is the meaning of penal. Penal means letting to used for or prescribing the punishment to offenders under the legal system. Penal similar to penal, that is disciplinary. Similar to useful. Okay, so these are the penal. If you translate to Hindi, you will get a dandatmak, dandik, saza yogya, dand vishek. If you want to translate in Urdu, I'll translate in all languages for you. Okay, so it will be Jurmana. What is penal? Penal means Jurmana. What is penal? Penal is Jurmana. Indian Penal Code. It is a code. What it is? It is a code. It is a code. So Indian Penal Code 1860, it is a comprehensive code that deals with substantive criminal law of India. Defines punishments, various offences, describes code for punishment in the court of law. Substantive substantive having a firm basis in reality and so important, meaningful or considerable. Having a firm basis in reality and so important, meaningful or considerable. So having a separate independent existence, that is asli, right? What is the meaning of word substantive? Separate and independent existence, substantive. Substantive means asli. So Indian Penal Code, it's a comprehensive code. The DC substantive criminal law of India. It defines various offences and prescribes codes for punishment in the court of law. So Indian Penal Code, it is a comprehensive code that deals with substantive criminal law of India. It defines various offences and prescribes code of punishment in the court of law. तो इंडियन पीनल कोड आपसे बोले आईपीसी क्या है, आईपीसी क्या है, आईपीसी द्वारा आईपीसी ये आईपीसी वो. So what is IPC basically? IPC is Indian Penal Code. IPC is Indian Penal Code. IPC, it is a comprehensive code. It is a comprehensive code that is the substantive criminal law of India. It defines various offences to prescribe codes of punishment, code for punishment in the court of law. What is a criminal procedure? It deals with procedures of investigation and the mechanism of punishment of offences against the substantive criminal law. So what is the Indian Penal Code, IPC? It is a comprehensive code that deals with substantive criminal law of India. It defines various offences and prescribes code for punishment in the court of law. तो ऑफेंस डिफाइन करता है कि ये ऑफेंस है क्या. तो पहले तो ऑफेंस को डिफाइन कर उसके बाद वो कोड ऑफ पनिशमेंट भी बताता है. एंड टॉकिंग अबाउट क्रिमिनल प्रोसीजर, तो इट डील्स विद प्रोसीजर ऑफ इन्वेस्टिगेशन एंड द मैकेनिज्म फॉर पनिशमेंट ऑफ ऑफेंसेस अगेंस्ट द सब्सटैंटिव क्रिमिनल. इट डील्स विद प्रोसीजर्स ऑफ इन्वेस्टिगेशन, किस तरह से इन्वेस्टिगेट करना है, मैकेनिज्म फॉर पनिशमेंट क्या रहेगा ऑफ ऑफेंसेस अगेंस्ट द सब्सटैंटिव क्रिमिनल लॉ. आईपीसी सिर्फ डिफाइन कर रही है एंड कोड ऑफ पनिशमेंट डिफाइन करती है. ठीक है. इंडियन पीनल कोड IPC, it is a comprehensive code. It deals with the substantive criminal law of India. It defines various offences and prescribes code for punishment in the court of law. Criminal procedure code क्या होता है? It deals with the CRPC is CR for criminal, P for procedure, C for code, procedure code. So it defines the procedure of investigation and the mechanism of punishment of offences against the substantive criminal law. Indian Evidence Act, it relates the evidence के ऊपर बात करता है, on which the court come to conclusion regarding facts of the case. It is common to both the criminal and civil procedures. So IPC is Indian Penal Code. Penal is punishment. Penal means punishment. Zulm, right? Penal is the so Indian penal jurmana, right? इंडियन पीनल कोड जुर्माना. ठीक है. तो इंडियन पीनल कोड इट इज अ कॉम्प्रहेंसिव कोड. इट डील्स विद सब्सटैंटिव क्रिमिनल. इट डिफाइंस various offences and prescribes code for punishment in the court of law. It defines various offences, prescribes code for punishment. Criminal procedures code is the, it deals with procedure. क्रिमिनल्स के साथ करना क्या है, प्रोसीजर ऑफ इन्वेस्टिगेशन, मैकेनिज्म फॉर पनिशमेंट ऑफ ऑफेंसेस अगेंस्ट सब्सटैंटिव क्रिमिनल लॉ. Indian Evidence Act relates to evidence on which the court come to conclusion regarding the facts of the case. It's common to both the criminal and civil procedures. Relates to evidence on which the court come to conclusion regarding the facts. Indian Evidence Act relates to evidence on which the court come to conclusion regarding the fact of the case. ओके, तो यहाँ पे आप अच्छे से देखें कि इंडियन एविडेंस एक्ट क्या है. देखो आईपीसी अगर आपको बोले, आई से आपको इंडिया याद आना चाहिए. ओके, एंड पी फॉर पीनल कोड, जुर्माना. तो ये क्या बताएगा कि तुमने जुर्म क्या किया, उसका डेफिनेशन देगा ये आईपीसी. फिर बताएगा कि कोड ऑफ पनिशमेंट क्या रहेगा. ठीक है. एंड क्रिमिनल प्रोसीजर, सीआर मीन्स क्रिमिनल, PC means procedure code. It deals with procedure of investigation and the mechanism of punishment of offences against the substantive criminal law. Deals with procedures of investigation. It deals with procedures of investigation and the mechanism of punishment of offences against the substantive criminal laws. So it deals with the procedures of investigation and mechanism for punishment of offences against the substantive criminal law. It deals with the procedures of investigation, mechanism of punishment of offences. तो वो बताएगा कि आपको इन्वेस्टिगेशन कैसे करना है, उसका प्रोसीजर क्या होगा, किस तरह से इन्वेस्टिगेट करोगे आप. दूसरा ये मैकेनिज्म फॉर पनिशमेंट देगा. IEA is Indian Evidence Act on which the court come to conclusion regarding the facts of the case. कि हाँ हमें केस के बारे में ये पता है. It is common to both the criminal and civil procedures. तो IEA is Indian Evidence Act. It relates to evidence on which the court come to conclusion regarding facts of the case. केस के बारे में पता चलता है. Facts of the case. Common to both criminal and civil procedure. IES relates to the evidence on which the court come to conclusion. अब हमारा फाइनल आता है इंक्वेस्ट क्या है, डेफिनेशन क्या है. An inquest means Latin quaesitus, to seek is an inquiry or investigation into the cause of death where death is apparently not due to the natural cause. It is done in cases of sudden death, suicide, homicide, infanticide. So inquest क्या होता है, basically it is a definition. Inquest is an inquest. Latin में quaesitus means to seek. To seek is an inquiry. To seek an inquiry or investigation to the cause of death where death is apparently not due to natural cause. It is done in cases of sudden death, suicide, homicide and infanticide. Homicide means criminal. किसी और ने मारा है, right? Death from accident, poisoning, drug mishap or machinery. Unexpected death or death from burns or fall from height with under anesthesia or an operation table, or from post-operative shock, death due to alleged medical negligence or within 24 hours of admission in a hospital, death of a convict in jail, police custody, mental hospital or correctional school. Dowry deaths in India is very common. Death due to an industrial disease, not held in India but Bhopal guest tragedy and all that. Two types of inquest are there. We talk about types of inquest. They are held in India. Police inquest, that is the most common. Other is magistrate inquest. Other types are also there. Coroner's inquest, medical examiner inquest, procedure fiscal. So these five are there. But in India we have police and magistrate. Other types are coroner, medical examiner and procurator fiscal. So these are the types of inquest. Let's talk about the definition once again. Definition: inquest means quaesitus means to seek, and to seek is an injury. It is an inquiry or investigation to the cause of death where death is apparently not due to natural cause. Death is not due to natural cause. So in these cases it is done in cases of sudden death, suicide, homicide, infanticide. And thus how many reasons for it? There are 9 reasons you can list down. So what is the definition of inquest? An inquest is a Latin word. Quaesitus means to seek an inquiry or investigation into the cause of death. Is an inquiry. Inquest means inquiry or investigation to the cause of death where the death is apparently not due to natural cause. It is done in cases of suicide, sudden death, homicide, infanticide, death from accident, poisoning, drug mishap, or machinery. Unexplained death or death from burns or fall from height, death under anesthesia on operation table or from post-operative shock, death due to alleged medical negligence or within 24 hours of admission in a hospital, death of a convict in jail, police custody, mental hospital, or correctional school. Dowry deaths, deaths due to an industrial disease not held in India. The two types of inquest. One is in India. We have in India two types of inquest are held. One is police inquest most common. Another is magistrate inquest, coroner's inquest, medical examiner's inquest, procurator fiscal medical examiner in system. There are two types of inquest. So, an inquest is an inquiry. An inquest is an inquiry. An inquest is an inquiry or investigation into the cause of death, where death is apparently not due to uh, natural death, natural causes. It is done. It is done. It is done. So it is not apparently due to natural cause. It is done in cases of sudden death, suicide, homicide, infanticide, and death from accident, poisoning, drug mishap or machinery, unexplained death or death from falls, burns, death under anesthesia in operation theater, or post-operative shock, death due to alleged medical negligence within 24 hours of admission in a hospital, death of a convict in jail, police custody, mental hospital, or correctional school. Dowry death, death due to an industrial disease not in India. There are two types of inquest held in India. One is called police inquest and this magistrate inquest. Other types of coroner's inquest, medical examiner system, and procurator fiscal. So inquest is an inquiry or investigation into the cause of death, where the death is apparently not due to natural cause. It is done in cases of suicide, homicide, sudden death. It is done in case sudden death, suicide, homicide, infanticide, death from accident, poisoning, drug mishap or machinery, unexplained death or death due to burns or uh, fall from height, death under anesthesia or on operation table, or from post-operative shock. Death due to alleged medical negligence or post-operative shock, death due to alleged medical negligence or within 24 hours of admission in a hospital, death of a convict in jail, police custody, mental hospital, or correctional school. Dowry deaths, death due to an industrial disease. This is not held in India. So there are coroners, police. So these are the causes of death: police death, medical examiners inquest, police inquest, magistrate inquest, medical examiners inquest, coroner's inquest, procurator fiscal. These are the types: procurator, fiscal. So there are different types of death. So these are the main types. Definition is an definition. It is inquest is derived from the Latin word which means seek into, because it is not due to a natural cause. So definition is it is an inquiry or investigation into the cause of death in which the death is apparently not due to a natural cause. It is done in cases of sudden death, suicide, homicide, infanticide, death due to burns, sudden death due to unexplained death, or death from burns or fall from a height, death from accident, poisoning, machinery, drug mishap, and death under anesthesia or on the operation table, or from post-operative shock, death due to alleged medical negligence, or from post-operative or within 24 hours of admission into a hospital, death of a convict in jail, police custody, mental hospital, or correctional school. Dowry deaths in India, death due to an industrial disease. This is not held in India yet. There are two types of inquest which is held in India. One is police and there is magistrate. इन लोग के पास ये पावर होता है कि आप इंक्वेस्ट कर सकते हैं, इंक्वायरी और इन्वेस्टिगेशन और to the cause of death can be done by these two. Other types of inquest which is not commonly held in India is coroner's inquest, medical examiner's inquest, and procurator's inquest. Creator physical, magistrate and police inquest. So if you talk about magistrate inquest and police inquest, these are the differences. Investigating officer in case of magistrate inquest conducted by DM, SDM or magistrate who is qualified and experienced. तो basically क्या है, investigating officer and the magistrate inquest is conducted by DM, SDM, DM, SDM or magistrate who is qualified and experienced. Police inquest conducted by police officer who is not qualified in law of medicine. So informing magistrate need to not inform anyone, but in police inquest it need to inform the magistrate of that area. Types of cases handled. Magistrate can hold inquest in all cases of suspicious death, and police inquest cannot hold inquest in cases of death in custody, jail, police firing, or dowry deaths. So it cannot take the deaths of custody, jail, police firing, or dowry deaths. ठीक है. Cases of handling is that talking about witness, police helps the magistrate, does not require signature of the witness. Police helps the magistrate, does not require signature of the witness. Panchas help who are chosen at random to sign the report. Value by of statements made by witness. No value, not admissible in court. Valuable and admissible in court. Warrant for arrest can issue arrest warrant of the accused. Cannot issue one but can arrest an accused in cognizable offense. So what is a cognizable offense? I'll tell you. Exhumation can order a body to be exhumed, cannot order. Autopsy does not send dead bodies for autopsy indiscriminately. They can send dead bodies for autopsy indiscriminately. Autopsy does not send bodies. Analysis of viscera can order chemical analysis of viscera. They cannot order chemical analysis. Quality of investigation superior to police inquest, and police inquest is inferior to magistrate inquest. But the thing is, they cannot, their value is not admissible in court. Okay, so this is the thing. So talking about police inquest, the provision for holding of inquest is outlined in section 124 CRPC. Police inquest is held by a police officer known as the investigation officer. The police inquest is held by the police officer who is known as the investigation officer, not below the rank of senior head constable, in all cases of unnatural deaths with the exception mentioned under magistrate inquest. Cases of unnatural death with exceptions. An inquest is a fact finding inquiry to establish reliable answers to four important questions. The first relates to the identity of the deceased, second to the place of his death, third to the time of death, fourth question is related to his apparent cause of death. First thing आपको पता करना है आइडेंटिटी ऑफ द डिसीज्ड, जो मर गया उसका आइडेंटिटी क्या था. सेकेंड, प्लेस कहाँ हुआ, थर्ड टाइम क्या था, fourth is written apparent cause of whether accidental, suicidal, homicidal, caused by the animal. The rules of the procedure forbid my expression of forbid any expression of opinion in any other matter. It is not the requirement of law to mention the name of the accused, the weapon carried by them, and who were the witness of the assault in inquest report. If there is some discrepancy between inquest report and the post-mortem report, the list of injuries mentioned in the inquest report cannot prevail over the details of the post-mortem report. Procedure: police officer on receipt of information of death gives intimation to the nearest executive magistrate empowered to hold inquest. He then proceeds to the place of occurrence and holds an inquiry into the matter. In the presence of two or more respectable inhabitants of the locality, the witness are called panchas. The inquest report so prepared is known as panchnama. If no foul play is suspected, the dead body is handed over to the relatives for disposal. Suspicious cases, the body is sent for post-mortem examination to the nearest unauthorized doctor with a requisition and a copy of the inquest. The report is then forwarded to the district magistrate and subdivisional magistrate. Police officer may summon person paid to know the facts of the case, and the person is bound to attend and answer questions put to him. Refusal to answer question in a punishable under section 29 IPC with imprisonment up to 6 months or fine of ₹1000. तो समझ में आया इंक्वेस्ट क्या चीज़ होती है. तो इंक्वेस्ट इज़ अ इंक्वायरी और इन्वेस्टिगेशन द कॉज ऑफ डेथ where death is apparently not due to a natural cause. It is done, and it is done in cases of sudden death, homicide, suicide, infanticide, accident, uh, drug poisoning, machinery, drug mishap, and the unexplained deaths, the sudden fall from the building, burns, death under anesthesia or on the operation table, or from post-operative shock, death due to alleged medical negligence or within 24 hours of admission in a hospital, death of convict in jail, police custody, mental hospital, correctional school, dowry death, death due to an industrial disease. Two types of inquest are there: police inquest and magistrate inquest. And other types are coroner's inquest, medical examiner's inquest, procurator fiscal. So if we talk about the police inquest, it is the provision for holding of inquest is outlined in section 174 CRPC. CRPC is the Criminal Procedure Code. It defines the procedure of investigation. So inquest is also an investigation. Inquest is an investigation, procedure of investigation, and the mechanism of punishment to the offender against substantive criminal law. Police inquest is held by a police officer. It is known as investigation officer, not below the rank of senior head constable in all cases of unnatural death with the exceptions mentioned under magistrate inquest. An inquest is a fact finding inquiry. The first relates to the identity of the disease, second to the place of death, third time of death, the fourth is related to his apparent cause of death, either accidental, suicidal, homicidal, or caused by animal. The rules of procedure forbid any expression of opinion any other matter. It is not the requirement of law to mention the name of the accused, the weapon carried by them, and who were the witness of the assault in the inquest report. Even if there is some discrepancy between the inquest report and the post-mortem report, the list of injuries mentioned in the inquest report cannot prevail over the details of the post-mortem report. It is not the requirement of law to mention the name of the accused, weapon carried by them, and who were the witness of the assault and the inquest report. Procedure: police officer on receipt of information of death gives intimation to the nearest executive magistrate empowered to hold inquest. He proceeds to the place of occurrence and hold an inquiry into the matter in the presence of two or more respectable inhabitants of the locality. The witness are called panchas. The inquest report so prepared is known as Panchinama. If no foul play is suspected, the body is handed over to the relatives for disposal. In suspicious cases, the body is sent for post-mortem examination to the nearest authorized doctor with the requisition and a copy of the inquest. The report is then forwarded to the district magistrate or sub-divisional magistrate. The police officer may summon persons who appear to know the fact of the case. The person is bound to attend and answer questions to put to him. Refusal to answer questions is punishable under Section 179 IPC with imprisonment up to 6 months and or fine of rupees 1,000. Inquest is conducted by district magistrate, judicial magistrate, SDM, executive magistrate empowered by state government such as sub-collector or tehsildar. Section 176 CRP deals with inquiry by magistrate into the cause of death. It is practiced all over India. It is not held routinely but only when specially indicated. So talking about magistrate, the inquest is conducted by district magistrate, judicial magistrate, SDM or any executive magistrate empowered by state government such as the sub-collector or tehsildar. Tehsildar is the magistrate. Section 106 CRPC deals with inquiry by magistrate into the cause of death. It is practiced all over India. It is not held routinely but only when specially indicated. Indications for magistrate inquest: death due to police firing, disappearance of death of a person in police custody or during police interrogation, death of a convict in jail, exhumation cases where the body is dug out of a grave, a rape alleged to have been committed on any woman in the custody of the police, dowry rape, suicide or death of a woman within 7 years of marriage is called dowry death within 7 years of marriage. Admission of a mentally ill person in psychiatric hospital under certain provisions of Mental Health Act. In addition to the above, the magistrate reserves the right to hold an inquest in any other case of death which he seems fit. As per the National Human Rights Commission, inquiry by judicial magistrate or metropolitan magistrate is mandatory in cases of custodian death, disappearance or custodial rape where there is suspicion of foul play or allegation of commission of an offence. In all other cases, an executive magistrate can hold an inquiry. When such an inquiry is to be held, the magistrate should inform the relatives, parents, brothers, sisters, and spouse of the deceased and for them to remain present at the inquiry. The judicial magistrate or the metropolitan magistrate holding the inquest should forward the body for examination by the civil surgeon or any other appointed by the state government within 24 hours of death of a person. The main intention behind the magistrate inquest is to ensure that no person is unjustly deprived of his liberty and his right as citizen. No person who is deprived of his liberty can die as a result of neglect or brutality of the people who are in charge of him. In case of buried body, there is no doubt with regards to identity, cause of death, manner of death, but that is not a dowry death. Coroner's inquest was usually an advocate, attorney, or first-class magistrate within 5 years' experience, or a metropolitan magistrate appointed by state government to inquire into causes of unnatural or suspicious death. That the coroners had quasi-judicial powers resembling those of a court of law judge, and the ability to remedy a situation or impose legal penalties to inquire death caused by accident, homicide, or by unknown causes. Section 174 CRPC. Open verdict means announcement of the commission of crime without naming the criminal when the perpetrator of crime is not identified. In India, the coroner system was introduced by the British in the presidency towns of Kolkata and Mumbai. Later on, the system was removed from Kolkata and still later from Mumbai. This type of inquest is conducted in most of the states of the US. A medical man is appointed to hold an inquest, he or she visits the scene of crime or accident to gather first-hand evidence, interview people to obtain as much information as possible regarding circumstances of death. So I'm going to go live with another videos. This session I'm stopping.